Soldering jumprings is a really good project for your first soldering experience. Now, one thing that's very, very important in soldering is that your parts fit. And you can see I can get my fingernail in between the opening here on this little jump ring. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is make it so that these jump rings close. They look about like this when they come out of the package. And what we need to do is close them further to create tension, and then use that tension to hold those ends together so that they fit very well and can be soldered together, because solder does not fill gaps. So we need a nice tight fit. And what I'm going to do here is I've got 2 pairs of pliers. I'm going to close this a little further. Then I'm going to bring it back and get those 2 ends to touch. And that's enough right there to create enough tension to have a nice tight fit on the ends. I'm going to repeat this for all my pieces. And once I've got these ready, then I'm going to fire coat them. I'm going to dip them in my fire coat, flame them off, and now I've got them ready on my charcoal soldering block. Now I'm applying paste solder. Of course, it already has flux in it, to each of the seams. And you see that I've got one of these pieces set up in my cross-lock tweezers, and I've got a groove in my charcoal block, and some of the pieces are just sitting on the block. Now I'm going to go ahead and solder these, and watch how quick this is. Right there, that one's soldered. Now I'm going to quench that and then pickle it. And each one of these I'm going to solder. I'm aiming the flame not on the seam itself, because I don't want to melt the solder so much as I want it to flow. So I'm aiming this at the bottom of the ring, because the solder flows to the heat. So I want to pull the solder down into the seam, and the way that I do that is by heating it more at the bottom of the seam than at the top. Okay, now that I've got all these pieces soldered and quenched, I need to pickle them. And I can find these a lot easier by stringing them on a wire and just fish them out of the pickle instead of one by one in one unit. And now my jump rings are all soldered, they're pickled, they're all shiny, and they're ready to use.